When I first went to Africa, I had no idea that I would return one day to study the music of the place. Even when I arrived in West Africa with my university qualifications behind me and the funding for a 2-year stay, it was still a bizarre set of events and mishaps that brought me and my family to the Kingdom of Kom, northwest Cameroon. On the first day, the man who owned our house had a death in his family, and he invited us to the celebration. It was then that I saw the njang instrument for the first time. Or rather, I heard it before I saw it. For the xylophone plays very loudly indeed, and you can catch its sound floating on the breeze a long time before you actually arrive at the compound where it is playing. The spectacle of the masks, the togetherness of the players, and the beauty of the music completely took me over, and I spent the whole day crouching down by the instrument, watching and listening with amazement to the extraordinary sounds that poured out of it. I was lucky that day to meet a group of musicians who were willing and able to welcome me into their mask group. And so it was that my apprenticeship began. After paying the group an entrance fee of chickens and palm wine, I became a real member, and I accompanied the group on its long journeys to celebrations in villages all over the kingdom. I carried masks and xylophone keys in my backpack, and when we arrived I would sit by the instrument, watching, listening and learning. We climbed over mountain ranges to play for the kings of neighbouring chiefdoms, and we were present at the enthronement of a new king in our own kingdom. My study of the music only really began in earnest when my teachers brought me to their society's mask house down by the Semliki River, and there I was taught to play the music of many of the xylophones of the kingdom, methodically and systematically. Painstakingly and with great attention to detail, I learned the patterns of each style, which were recorded on videotape before being meticulously written down on manuscript paper. I learned not only about the notes that the instrument plays and the principles of African rhythm and harmony, but I also came to understand the physical business of playing, how to sit, how to breathe, and how to listen to the other players in the group, and how this music interacts with the dancers as they dance. I also learned how to make instruments and how to tune all the individual keys. In a performance, each player is playing only one note at a time. But when everybody plays together in the right place, at the right time, beautiful music is created. And it's not so hard to play either. The principle is very similar to church bell ringing. And what we see here is the music of the Old Men's Society, called the Chong Society. This style of music uses a friction drum and gongs that one can see as the prototypes of instruments used today in Latin America. Drum makers instructed me in the techniques of skinning and playing drums. And slowly my understanding of the music and its place in Kom culture came together. For in Africa, it is important to understand that music and culture are inextricably intertwined. Rituals surround the first playing of all new instruments, and music has its own history and secret meanings.
learn them one heart, teach them anything.